Joins me, Stephen A. We've witnessed so many of these great moments here at Oracle, and of course they'd love to close this thing out by forcing a Game 7 against the Toronto Raptors tonight. Watching First Take earlier, I know you said you think the Warriors are going to win this game tonight, obviously without KD. Why?
Well, I just think that when you look at Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, two of the greatest shooters that we've ever seen as far as I'm concerned, you know that they're gonna have a big night in my estimation. I can't imagine that they're not gonna have a big night. I can't imagine that they're not gonna ride the adrenaline and the momentum that they feed from this crowd or they receive from this crowd. And I think the combination of that, along with the Toronto Raptors knowing that they have the cushion of a Game 7, it's one thing if it's close, then the Toronto Raptors are playing without some money, they can go for it. It's another thing entirely if Golden State gets out to a huge lead. If you're Toronto, you might take your foot off the gas because you know you got Game 7, as opposed to jeopardizing something with Game 7 because you expend yourself too much in Game 6. I think that, you look at it from that perspective, and again, the momentum from the crowd and this being the last game. I just can't imagine the Golden State Warriors losing 3 games in the NBA Finals at the Oracles in their last time at the Oracle. I can't see that.
And I totally agree with you there, because this is a place that they have just been so difficult to face, except not so much this year. More on that in a second. How about Kawhi Leonard? He's averaged 29.8 points, almost 30 points per game during this finals. The Warriors double-teamed him, though, 3 times during Game 5, and they were actually pretty successful against him. Of course, that last shot, passing it off to Kyle instead. Do you expect to see more double teams tonight on him? Why?
Sure, because first of all, he's pretty much unstoppable one-on-one. He's stronger even when you beat him to his spots, because he likes to get to his spots in order to score. But even when you beat him to his spots, he's strong enough to move you off of it just to get the shot that he wants to get. So the one thing about doubling up on him is that he also is a smart basketball player that is trained and is fundamentally sound, and he's about making the right play. He doesn't engage in hero basketball. That kind of works to Golden State's advantage if other guys are struggling to make shots, because he'll be quick to give up the basketball if you double him up, and you'll dare somebody else to shoot the basketball. You are, again, it's Game 6. You're up 3-2. So the pressure that would exist in a Game 7 doesn't necessarily exist for you in Game 6 if you're the Toronto Raptors. But if you're the Golden State Warriors, it has been proven. You get the ball out of Kawhi Leonard's hands, it usually works well for you.
Absolutely. He, by the way, has had 8 30-point games this postseason. One more, and he ties Kobe Bryant for the most in a single postseason. Stephen A. Smith just getting going here. Back up next on SportsCenter, top of the hour here. Stephen A. Smith, the special. And again, 47 years. By the way, teams to lose 3 home games in a single series. Look at the list here. Stephen A. Smith.
They all lost.
They all lost.
I see the Knicks are in there. Why am I not surprised? Even though it's from 1953, 14 years before I was born. Leave it to the Knicks to make that list. Leave it to the Knicks.
Are the Warriors at home in these finals? Stephen A. Smith always has to make it about the Knicks, doesn't he, Kevin McCarthy? Back to you in Bristol. Stephen A.
Silver lining, though, is that you have a finals graphic that features the Knicks. We haven't talked about that in a long time. Tim Leckler joining us now. All right, let's talk about the keys to this game, and let's start with the Warriors. What will be the key tonight in Game 6?
Well, Kevin, look, Steph and Klay could both play great. They could get 60 tonight, and it won't be enough unless Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, and I'm going to throw Quinn Cook in there as well, give you supplemental offense. Because you never know with those guys necessarily, are they going to make shots? It might take 40 to 45 points out of those 3 players tonight. And I think also Draymond Green in particular, there were games in the Portland series. He was the best player on the floor. He might need to have one of those games tonight where that's what we're talking about afterwards.
All right, on the other side, the Raptors, what's the key?
Well, you can't have a deluge of 3-pointers against you like 20 like the other night. They did a pretty good job up to this point in the series. They gave up some, but they weren't strung together. 20 3-pointers against this team cannot happen, so they've got to defend the 3-point line at a much higher level. We know that they're lacking interior presence offensively in Golden State. Do whatever you have to communicate, get out to those guys, chase them off the line, give up whatever twos they want. You cannot get beat from the 3-point line if you're Toronto tonight.
Final game at Oracle. Who wins tonight?
I'm going with Golden State for a lot of the same reasons Stephen A. said. I can't imagine ending this 5-year run with losing 3 straight games in the same series in this building. I just can't envision it. I think the energy is going to get them through tonight. And I think Steph and Klay both play really well. It might take some help from somebody on Toronto, we don't know right now, really having a poor game. Whether that's Kawhi Leonard or Kyle Lowry, they're going to have to contribute by somebody not playing well. Siakam, one of those guys is going to have to be off. But I think Golden State gets the win tonight, and we're playing ball on Sunday.
All right, we'll see how this plays out. The Warriors are 0-3 against the Raptors at home if you count the regular season as well. And each of those losses have come by double digits. Legs, thank you so much.